before. Now, back to Silver Moments with Dr. Marsha Baltimore.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Marsha. I wanted to ask this question, which I know the answer because I read the statistics in the census report. What percent of employed older women are married? Now, I'm unfortunately a widow, so I don't qualify as married anymore. But I did work when my husbands were alive. I had 2 different husbands that I lost, which is pretty bad. But let's talk about America. In 1977, about 1/3 of employed women 65 and older were married. But, listen to this number, by 2007, married women accounted for nearly 1/2 of the workers. Women workers who were widowed, divorced, or separated represented 56% of all employed women 65 and older. And by 2007, their share fell down to 48%. And during the same time period, the older women workers who were never married shrank from 11% to 6%. So fewer older women were working in 2007 than were working in 1977. So the men are taking care of the women in the recent years, and that's kind of interesting for us. I know a fellow who said, he didn't think that marriage and working went together, so as soon as he got married, he quit his job. So we're not going to let that happen to us, all right, girls? We're going to help the guys, and the guys are going to take care of us. That's the idea. So if you could remember that it's going down, the percent of employed women who are single, it's going down. So maybe they're also learning how to invest better when they're younger. There's a reason for that, and I don't have it in the statistics, but we can find out from each other if we want to talk about it. The next question we want to talk about is, are older workers choosing full-time or part-time employment? That's kind of interesting because the kids need jobs too now. And look at the chaos in this country because of the workforce and the unemployment. But let me read the statistics from the census. From 1995 to 2007, the number of older workers on full-time work schedules nearly doubled. That was doubled. While the number working part-time only went up 19%. So as a result, full-timers now account for a majority among older workers. And 56% in 2007 is the number, up from 44% in 1995. That's high. The lines more or less cross in the middle. So what do we do about that? We have to know we're doing it. We can't complain. And some of the younger folks say that we're better off working than collecting Social Security because they want that to build up for the younger folks. The government probably should look into it. I just found the statistic. I'm not making the laws. But there's some reason why that happened. So we might as well think about it anyway. So I wondered if you could figure out what the contribution is to the older folks, from the older folks to the economy. I think we're workers. I think that's our contribution. And it shows that percent. 56% of employed women 65 and up are in the workforce. That's a lot. Now, what about the baby boomers? The baby boomers, and I have one right here. Her name is Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. Are you a boomer?
I'm a baby boomer,
okay.
Dr. Baltimore.
So we have to think about how those people born between 46 and 64 have not yet reached the age of 65. And they compose 60% of the population. Now, my numbers don't say 60%. I went right to the census. Yes, they actually do. But when you take them out of there, because the populations are cut by 5 years, 50 to 54, 55, 59, etc. And when you add them all up, the males compose 31% of the United States population in general, age 50 to 85 and up, 50 up. 31.5% males, and the females 33.2% of the population. Together, male and female baby boomers from 50 all the way to 85 compose 64%, so there's your 60 embedded in that number, 64% of the United States population. That is clout. That is buying clout, market share clout, whatever kind of clout you want to call it, it's clout. And we don't use it, ladies and gentlemen of the Silver Moments audience. We do not use that clout. We have to figure out what do we want and how are we going to get it. I don't really know, but I'm just giving the numbers. They're right out of the United States government census. So together, people in the population from 50 to 85 compose 64.7% of the population. That's the bottom line. And the people 50 to 54, just that one little baby boomer group, is 14.2%. So if you subtract the 14 from the 64, you get 50% of everybody 55 and up is 50% of the country. Am I going too fast for you? I'd have to print this and put it on my website, I think, and then you'll see it. But you also can go on the internet. I go on my Apple, and you go on your whatever, Dell, Apple, whatever, and get the United States Census and find out if I'm telling you the facts. These are the facts. And after we know the facts, we can know what we should do about it. But without the facts, we're sort of sitting in limbo. But now we have them. Now, the labor force participation rate for older workers has been rising since 1990. And that is, I think, a threat to the younger folks. I'm not sure, but I think we have to be careful what we demand and probably think about the part-time and let the kids have a share in it. I don't know, but you could come up with it if you wanted to call in and tell us what you think. There's some more information here about the people 65 and older, which shows that 60% of the population I just told you were non-institutionalized. They don't have to get care. Their families take care of them. They take care of each other if they're married. And so employment for these people doubled, while employment for everybody 16 and over increased by less than 60%. But people over 65, their employment doubled. Now, why? That's because they didn't put enough away when they were younger. And I don't know if the Social Security is doing it or not doing it, but they don't say that in the census. So we have to look into all these questions and talk to our legislators, and maybe they have ideas of how to legislate to see what this workforce does in terms of bringing in more Social Security money or more tax money. And then we can find it. Now let's talk about what kind of money all of us make. After the break, we'll discuss it. And I'll tell you the statistics, and you tell me what to do about it. Thank you. That's Mikkel, playing a sax.
You can now hear some of your favorite CR